Hi, this one will be the last one of the 500 types that I've shown. I may have a couple more upstairs, but I think we've covered the types that I've got. I did say that these were often made for foreign countries, and this one is no exception. As you can see by the name on there, P&T, that is Post and Telecom of Ireland, or Southern Ireland as opposed to Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland obviously used the same telephones as we did in England and the UK. But in Ireland they used the 500 type plus some of the phones that we use, the 706 types. And I understand they even use the wall version of this phone, which I didn't know at the time, but I believe they did. Anyway, let's have a little look at the slight differences inside. It's basically the same, but a few differences. Oh well, I should tell you the make. The name is Northern Telecom. Now, Northern Telecom started with the name Northern Electric, and I think I showed a phone earlier on which was by Northern Electric, but they changed their name to Northern Telecom. And this phone was obviously made in America, although sometimes they say on the dial made in Ireland, but I don't understand why, because they certainly weren't made in Ireland as far as I know. We've got the case, once again the same name, Northern Telecom, and this case has got nice brass inserts, unlike the one I showed earlier, the Stromberg Carlson. Got a number here, 80, so I presume it was 1980, I would think. Anyhow, let's have a look. I'll take the dial off. I've got the dial just loosely on there. Let me undo that. I thought I'd made it loose enough, but obviously I didn't. Right, there's the dial, which is quite a bit different to what you would normally find on the Northern phone or the Western Electric. It's quite a well-made dial. It's inside. Yeah, it's quite a well-made dial. And you can see it's got Northern Telecom on there, made in Canada. And the date on this one is 84. So that's the dial. And also you've got the name inside written as it was on the back. I know it's upside down. Post and Telecoms. And it says a 500 COB NT Northern Telecom, and that's 81. So several dates, but all round about the 80s, 81s, 84. Looking further in, you've got, we'll see a standard bell, metal and still not plastic, I'm glad to say. You've got your bias spring under there. The windings are just one winding. Just one winding. I think I wrote on here, or someone wrote on there, 1,000 ohms. That was written on the back of the case. Here we have the open network, or partly open, shall I say. That part is obviously closed up, and which would contain the capacitors. Was on the outside, you've got a resistor down there, and the anti-side tone induction coil, which is shown. The cord that they've used, I'm pretty sure that was the cord that was on there, I didn't change it, is the BT type cord. So there was a lot of sort of connections between the two. But that is more or less all I can show you on the exported model that went to Ireland. You occasionally see these on eBay, and they are a cheaper way of getting the 500 type telephone. All right, they're not exactly the same. I'll show you the dial. The dial is just numbers, but you're still getting the 500 type phone, and it's got the same little pinhole there to remove the front. This phone looks like it's hardly ever been used. You can see some. There's a few scruff marks. This is a way of telling, is scruff marks where the receiver's been placed down, but it's not excessive. And the case is nice ivory case in very good nick. The handset is the G type, which I think I mentioned last time with the Northern Telecom's name. Unfortunately, I had to take the transmitter out. In fact, the other phone I just put up recently hasn't got the transmitter. I don't know why. I've seemed to have run out of those. But not to worry, these are in the display. I'm not actually using them. So it's just an example. And I showed you the case. Exactly the normal 500 case. These phones that I've shown use the hardwired. They're not the modular type. They're hardwired. They, as I say, the modulars come out later. I don't know whether they use the modular ones in Ireland. I don't think so. So they probably stayed with the hardwired types. Anyhow, that, believe it or not, is all I've got to say on this. And it does, as I say, concludes my little review of some of the 500s. Because I haven't, and I'm not going to put any of the modern ones up because I haven't got any. And they're not very good anyhow. So this concludes all the rotary ones of the 500s. They were and are a well-designed phone, which really was the example used that we took for the 706 phone, which was, well, not a copy, but it was probably based on this, because this phone came out a few years earlier. Anyway, I'm finding things to talk, so I'm going to shut up and I'll pop this up. So once again, thanks for looking. Recapping 500 type by Northern Telecom, dated 1981, from Southern Ireland. So thanks for watching. Thank you.